That night, the city sky was already strewn with lights when I arrived at the site of the big event, the Tencent Starlight Awards. The magnificent building filled with classy celebrities was like the sparkle of a star falling to earth. The red carpet was long, media cameras lined up, and fans packed the outside with passionate shouts. I came not as the main invited guest, but part of the documentation team that was given special permission to record some behind-the-scenes moments. My position was quite strategic, not too far from the stage, and close enough to catch the expressions of the stars. To be honest, I had already heard rumors that that evening there was one most awaited couple, and that conjecture was instantly proven as soon as Zhao Jinmai stepped in. The charming Zhao Jinmai. The evening dresses worn by Gene Mai are simple but elegant. Soft pastel shades combine with not excessive jewelry, highlighting her natural beauty. Her hair was in a graceful bun, with a few thin strands left to fall, giving the impression of being sweet and mature at the same time. The cheers of the fans were immediate. Gene Mai, Gene Mai. The screams were loud, accompanied by the incessant flashing of the camera lights. I, who was on the side of the stage, could feel the incredible energy just from his presence. Interestingly, despite such great attention, Gene Mai still looks calm. He waved his hand, occasionally lowered his head politely, then walked towards the prepared seating area. Zhang Linghe. Not long after, cheers broke out again, even more frenzied. Zhang Linghe appeared on the red carpet in a classic black suit, bow tie, and confident stride. Its height makes it easily recognizable among the crowd. I still vividly remember the expressions of some female spectators who almost screamed hysterically. The sound of media cameras is getting faster, as if everyone is scrambling to capture his every move. Lingi gave a slight smile, quite friendly without losing his authority. And the direction of the steps, yes, as many people had already expected, went straight to the chair that turned out to be next to Gene Mai. When they sit together, I couldn't help but be amazed when I saw them sitting side by side. From behind the lens of the camera I used to record, the moment looked so fitting. It's like two pieces of a puzzle that meet in the right place. Gene Mai sat down gracefully, both hands neatly on his lap. Lingi sat down beside her, leaning slightly as if to make a comfortable space for her. From my point of view, the chemistry is obvious. Some of the people around me even whispered softly, "They look perfect, huh?" I just smiled as I continued to record, because I felt the same way myself. Small, meaningful interactions. What amazed me even more was not just the fact that they were sitting side by side, but the small interactions between them. As there was a commercial break and the stage lights dimmed slightly, I caught the moment when Lingi turned his head and said something to Gene Mai. I couldn't clearly hear his words, but I saw Gene Mai cover his mouth with his hand while chuckling. The reaction was so natural, so sincere, that I smiled to myself. The camera in my hand almost wobbled because I was too carried away in the moment. Every now and then, Gene Mai also seemed to point at the large screen in front of them. Then Lingi nodded while adding a comment. It was purely a light conversation, but somehow it looked like two old friends who were comfortable sharing stories. Camera highlights. The media apparently did not want to miss this moment either. Many times I saw the big screen on the stage highlighting their rows of seats, and there was always a lively reaction from the audience when Lingi and Gene Mai's faces appeared side by side. Cheers were heard. Some even immediately shouted their partner's name in the drama. I heard clearly one group of fans shouting, "Couple goals," on the sidelines of another cheer. I kept shooting, realizing that what I was capturing wasn't just two celebrities sitting next to each other. There is a kind of intertwined story, something more than the formality of an event. Take a break. In the middle of the event, there is a moment when guests are given time to enjoy a light meal. I noticed that Lingi had briefly taken a glass of mineral water, then without much ado placed it before Gene Mai before taking it for himself. At first glance it may seem ordinary, but for people who pay attention to details, it is the small forms of attention that matter most. Gene Mai turned his head, gave a short smile and nodded slowly, then refocused on the table. I couldn't help but record it in my memory. Sometimes it is little things like this that show sincerity more than 1,000 sweet words. The inevitable chemistry. Throughout the show, I watched them. When the camera panned towards the stage, they were equally focused. When there is a musical performance, they exchange small comments with each other. And most impressively, they looked so natural, not far-fetched, not overdone. I'm beginning to understand why so many people are attracted to this couple. Their chemistry is not only the result of a play script, but also something that lives behind the scenes. From behind my camera, I felt like I was filming two people who were completely comfortable with each other's existence, not just two stars paired up for the sake of the show. Unforgettable night. The event runs long until late at night. Many awards were handed out. Many stage performances were mesmerizing. But to me, what made the most impression was a simple scene. Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe sat side by side, sharing a small laugh with each other, and making the atmosphere feel warm in the middle of luxurious glitter. When the show was over and they stood up to leave their seats, I pressed the stop button on my camera with a sense of satisfaction. I know the records I keep aren't just formal documentation. It was a small snippet of a larger story, a story of togetherness, chemistry, and harmony that can so rarely be captured in words. Reflections of a recorder. As someone who is behind the camera, I feel lucky to be a live witness. I saw how two big stars, in the midst of the spotlight and luxury, were still able to show their human side. Simple, sincere, and full of warmth. I believe moments like this are what make fans fall in love even more. Because they not only see the stars from afar, but also feel the sincere heart behind the light of the stage lights. And that night, I can say with confidence, Zhao Jinmai and Zhang Linghe are not just the stars on the Tencent Starlight stage. They are the light that makes everyone feel warm.